Welcome csc103 to this overview of creating a Replit account. Replit is our online IDE that we're going to use for Python programming, and this is the first semester that we're using this, at least in 103. We've used it in the programming course before, and what you're going to do first is you're going to go to Repl.it. It's the Replit website, and you can see it's Repl.it. And even though you can start coding without having an account, I'm going to go here to sign up, and I'm going to make a new username. I'm going to put rmhome, and I'm going to use the same password that I use for all my Replit accounts. So I'm going to hit sign up, and I'm not going to put I'm a teacher because I'm actually signing this account up as if I'm a student. I'm going to go verify my email. You could do that right now if you want, or I could get started. I don't think I have to verify it right this second, but I will have to verify it. Now that I'm in here, now when you get in here for the first time, like I said, after you get your email set up, you're not going to have any repels. You're going to come here to home, and you'll see all this kind of stuff here. You can create a repel. Sometimes it'll show popular repels. You can just hit the new repel button. You can put a picture of yourself in here if you want. So it says new folder. It has new repel, things like that. So I'm going to make a new folder right away, and I'll just call it csc103, and that's all you have to do, and then just hit create, and then you'll have a folder here. You can see I have a different folder here as well, but you'll have a folder here, and you could click on here, and there's nothing in it, and the first thing you're going to do is create a new repel. Now a repel is basically just your file, so that's all you have to think of it as, your file. So I'm going to hit new repel, and you can see you have all these options here. So I'm just going to use Python right now. Eventually we're going to use Python turtles, but for this first one we're just going to use Python, just plain Python, and just click on it, and there'll be a generic name that's here, and you're going to change that to be 9 dash, and we're just going to call it test scores. We're just going to do a little basic intro in Python. You call it test scores, and if you want to put your last name on here, you could do that. That might help when you send me a link, seeing your name on the repel, because that'll be part of your URL. So you could call it 9 test scores. Actually, do this because I think it has a problem with underscores. Just put a dash. So just call it 9 test scores dash and put your last name, and then do create repel. And your repel will open up, and just a couple things to get you started here before we even do the assignment is you're going to have a coding area that you're going to work in here, and this is where we're going to code, and I'll show you how to change the size of the text and things like that. And you're going to have a console. This is called a console, and this is basically your output area over here. Now you can do these side by side, or you can stack them depending on how you're writing code. Now a couple things just to point out: you have a files area over here, which you're not going to have to do anything with. It's always going to say main.py. They only keep a main.py file here. You can put more in here, but your file is really going to be this. This is your repel, and if you need to change the name or anything, it's right here. And then also you could skip this, you can skip this, you can skip this, and you could skip this. The only other thing you have to really be concerned about in here is down here in settings. For example, if you like the dark theme, if you want to work like this and you want to code with kind of light type on a dark background, you could do that. I'm not going to do that right now. You could even change your layout from side to side to stacked if you need to, but that depends on what we're doing. I think we can start with side by side. And then also font size, if you want to make it larger. When I do the videos, I usually make it a little bit bigger, so if you like bigger type, you could put it larger. If you don't, you could leave it at a regular size or even go smaller. And then another thing I'll recommend here, where it says indent type, since we are going to do indents, just change it to tabs and leave it on 4. And everything else here should be default. It should say default, it should say soft wrap, which means the code will wrap when you change the window size, and leave code intelligence enabled because that will help us when we work with code. So again, indent size at 4, indent type set to tabs, whatever font size you want to use, whatever theme you want to use, and leave it side by side for now. And when you click on here again, it'll go to files, and if you click again, it'll close that up. And again, you can move these around as we need more room, and we're going to code over here. We're going to start our new assignment in the next video, but I just wanted to get you started with Replit in this video. So we'll continue with the next video and actually do the assignment.